Green light's on, and they're away. And Selaznik away nicely from the inside gate. There's speed coming also from Nipper's Grin out wider, and coming with it is Grinny Girl, and they're going to be able to cross the inside division. So it's Grinny Girl and Nipper's Grin going together. Selaznik settles third, and Wise Goddess into fourth spot. And then our Nero Star, who's staying one off the pegs. Further back then came Illawong Suave. Back towards the rear in second last was a Rock and Roll Legacy, and Quicksilver Revival goes to the tail. So into the back they run, and Nipper's Grin, who's been solidly supported, takes up the running, and in a lead time of 31.8, which is fairly standard, leads out over Grinny Girl, who's on its back. So Lasnik 3 back the inside, and here comes Quicksilver Revival out wide, and it's going forward in search of a more prominent position. That's going to give our Nero Star some cover now in the 1-1. And next then was Illawong Suave, followed by Wise Goddess, who's back on the inside second last, and a Rock and Roll Legacy is at the tail. So they head inside the 1300, head towards the 1200, and the first quarter's about to come up in the fifth from Newcastle, and it comes up in 32.9. So it's Nipper's Grin the leader, brings them into the straight. 1100 left to travel. Leads out by 3 metres. Second Quicksilver Revival the outside. And Grinny Girl, who handed up the lead, is in third spot. Leaders back. Our Nero Star cover 1-1. The inside Sir Lasnik. So this second favourite very awkwardly positioned, and then Illawong Suave, and Wise Goddess back to second last, and last was a Rock and Roll Legacy. So it doesn't appear to have been much more pace after a very slow first quarter. Second quarter comes up in 31.5, 64.4 the first half of the mile. Into the back they run, and every favour for Nipper's Grin. Leads out now by a good 4 metres. Second on the leader's back, Grinny Girl, as Quicksilver Revival starts to feel the pinch. Our Nero Star pulls off its back, pulls out 3 wide, starts to make ground. In turn, Illawong Suave going with it. While that was happening, Sir Lasnik got through on the inside to work to third spot, but this leader's kicked right away. And further back then came Wise Goddess taking inside runs with a Rock and Roll Legacy. Down the side of the track they run. Nipper's Grin in front has a nice break. It's out by 15 metres over Grinny Girl. They ran off the back in 28.8. Sir Lasnik works into third, and then making ground out wider was Wise Goddess, but into the straight they run, and it's Nipper's Grin still well clear over Grinny Girl, Sir Lasnik, and Wise Goddess. Getting up on the inside is a Rock and Roll Legacy, but Nipper's Grin kidding to them. Nipper's Grin wins very convincingly over Sir Lasnik, and Grinny Girl ran third. Fourth in a Rock and Roll Legacy, and then Wise Goddess, well back Illawong Suave, Quicksilver Revival, our Nero Star, and it was last in.